your boy Gheddo, and you tuning in to No Filter West. If you just now tuning in and you ain't never been here before, let you know now you gotta have tough skin. But today, that ain't what we talking about. Today we talking about Hurricane Erin. I'm sorry, Hurricane Erin. I was about to say Erin. But check this out. This hurricane, right? There's something deep about this hurricane. Alright. Now first of all, let's go back. A little history on the hurricane. Well, not the hurricane itself, but the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Second biggest ocean. Alright. Now this is the only ocean that actually has no coast. Alright. Now, you got waters just basically still, motionless. Alright? That's Atlantic Ocean. Just for some of y'all who don't know what it is or how it operates. Now, a lot of stuff was happening. Okay? A lot of stuff was happening. Alright? Back in the 1800s in the Atlantic Ocean, a lot of people was left out there. They had what they call the Atlantic say I think it's the say it was something about the Atlantic it was a slave trade basically, but that's not the correct term. But the correct term was something else that I can't remember. But anyway, it was a slave trade, okay? They had a slave trade. A lot of slaves got left behind through in the waters, okay? They had a lot of ocean ships that was out there, okay? They had a lot of ships that was out in the ocean. They got left behind, all right? The thing is, you see, with this hurricane, all right, I believe that it's a real live demon, all right? And the way that you have to read some of these books, the way that it's set up, okay, if you got a lot of bad spirits, I believe they can go into one as one big demon, right? One big negative force, okay, unleash on the world. Now they got a mirror image, okay? I don't know if y'all seen it or not. They got a mirror image of the hurricane, Hurricane Erin, right? The mirror image forms a demon, all right? If y'all ain't never seen it, I got it on the thumbnail, okay? Y'all can go see that. It forms a real demon. Now that's real, okay? That is the actual photo of what it looks like, all right? That's the actual photo. Y'all check out my thumbnail, all right? If you ain't been here before, make sure you subscribe. This is No Filter West. We always giving out cash prizes. We always dropping gems for the people. We always enlightening the people. You dig? That's what we do. Today we talking about Hurricane Erin, and that is demonified. You dig? A lot of stuff happened at the Atlantic Ocean. A lot of stuff that we don't know about. A lot of us don't know about. You dig? That slave trade was evil. Okay? They did our people so wrong. When I mean wrong, I mean the dirtiest. Okay? They children. They threw their children, some of their children in the water in front of them. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine somebody harming your child in front of you? You know? They did that to our people. They did that. Why wouldn't they form into some kind of demon and come back and kill everything they could? You did? I'm sorry, unalive. You know how YouTube is. Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they? You dig? It's a lot of dark forces out here that we don't know about. Everybody not good, everybody not bad. Okay? And that didn't just start. Okay? It didn't just start in this century. You've been having bad people. You've been having bad people. You've been having bad people before time. Alright? The devil was bad. So if he come from back then, what you think his followers was doing? What you think the satanic people was doing? What you think the Satanists was doing? All right, they've been around too. Most of them people. Now we're getting thrown off track. Let's go back, all right, to Hurricane Erin. Now, the history on this Atlantic Ocean, right? The thing is, like I said, it has no coast. It's the only ocean that don't have a coast. Okay? Motionless. Okay, can you picture a motionless ocean? Right? Can y'all picture that? Just motionless. And the hurricane formed out there. It's still going. They've been going for like a week straight, okay? Changing its direction, all types of shit. Can you imagine how many people been unalived already by this hurricane? They're not going to talk about it yet. The death toll ain't going to be up yet until afterwards. I believe it's probably in a couple more days or something like that. But like I say, man, y'all check out that thumbnail. You can see it. It's called a mirror image. A mirror image of Hurricane Erin, okay? It forms a real-life demon. You can see the face, all right? And it's real. It came directly off of the radar, okay? Them people couldn't hide that. They tried. They still trying to, okay? Now, I went back, right? I went back to try to get that same image that I seen. It was gone, all right? The image was gone, okay? Now, I'm going to keep it all the way funky with y'all. All right, now if you're just now tuning in, make sure you like and subscribe. We always dropping gems. We always giving out enlightenment for the people, giving out cash prizes. You don't want to miss no cash, baby. You dig? This is No Filter West. You got to have some tough skin. We talk about real topics. You dig? We don't like to disrespect nobody. We don't do that here. Shout out to y'all, though, man. Shout out to y'all. I ain't ignoring nobody. Shout out to y'all. I want to get this out, because if you know me, I get veered off, all right? But like I was saying, man, like, it's dark forces at work, man. It's dark forces at work. And if you ain't prayed up, and you got some kind of plan, you dig? When I say a plan, I mean a plan as far as what you going to do if all this stuff ends. What you going to do if you can't grow no more crops, right? What you going to do if the water come off a market, okay? What you going to do about that? All right? If you ain't got no well, that well run dry, what you gonna do? You dig? We got to be more self-sufficient, I think we really should start growing more stuff on the inside. You dig? Because one day, that's what it's going to come to. It's going to come to us having to make our own crops in a secluded area. You dig? It ain't going to be outside. One day, we ain't going to be able to use the nature, right? We're not going to be able to use the nature for nothing. And I believe that day is coming. Okay? That's what I believe. It's coming. One day at a time. One day we're not going to be able to use the nature for nothing. Now, I ain't saying, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be a natural disaster. We don't know if the hurricane might make things, complicated for us. Maybe one day it won't stop. You ever thought of that? What if this hurricane goes and goes and goes and goes for the rest of eternity? Now that's devastating. Especially when you got kids, man. We can fend for ourselves most of the time. You know what I mean? But when you got kids, man, you be like, you know what I mean? It hurts your heart. You feel? So it's like you doing all this extra stuff, trying to make sure shit is good. And make sure that y'all got end of life survival kit, man. And when I say that, I mean, make sure you got your flashlight put up, canned goods, water. You need the end of times survival kit. All right? End of the time survival kit. I can't say it enough, man. I can't say it enough. And all the stuff is self-explanatory. It's all self-explanatory. Flashlight, batteries, all right? And my grandma and them say batteries, all right? All that, all right? You want canned goods, water, okay? You want radiation pills, all right? All of that. Anything y'all can get that can help y'all survive, okay? Learn how to filter water. Learn it now while you got internet on your phone. Because if the shit go down, you ain't gonna have no internet, okay? This is the time to learn that type of stuff right now. You need to learn that now, okay? Learn how to filter water. Learn how to grow your own crops, all right? All of this stuff, you need to learn this right now while you got internet service. Because one day them towers going to go down, man. You ain't going to be able to look up on the internet, man. You dig? And another thing, get y'all some walkie-talkies, okay? Get you some walkie-talkies if you got a family, stuff like that. People you want to get in contact with, a loved one, a wife, whatever. Get you some walkie-talkies because them towers going to be down. You ain't going to have no phone. All right? You ain't going to have no phone. Get that through your head, man. One day, that's going to go away. Okay? Now don't wait to the last minute and be like, damn, I can't reach my loved one. Damn, I need to check on my child. You know? Don't wait till the last minute, y'all. Don't wait till the last minute. Alright? Get you some walkie talkies. Keep it in your crib. Alright? Batteries. Keep them batteries on deck. Alright? Back to Hurricane Erin. This ain't no regular hurricane. Alright? This ain't no regular hurricane. Okay? Like I say, they ain't talked about the death toll yet. But I'm sure it's going to be sky high. Y'all see the direction it be going? Back and forth. Changing directions. They thought it was going one way. It changed the direction. Went a whole nother way. All up through Maine. Alright, Puerto Rico. Alright. It's going a lot of places, man. And like I say, I feel like it's the slaves, man. It's all them dark forces, man. All them dark forces. All them people that got left behind. All them ships that wrecked and people didn't save. You did? Man, energy is something. It's something. And God don't like ugly. You did? But like I say, man, you know, to each his own, man. To each his own. And I strongly suggest y'all to go check out that thumbnail. Because my thumbnail and probably a few more people who screenshotted it, we probably the only ones who got that picture. And I know that for a fact because they're not going to broadcast that. Okay? They're not going to broadcast a demon face on national television. Alright? They're not going to do that. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe. I surely appreciate it. If y'all can do that. You know. I appreciate it. We just had 21 people here. You know, once I start dropping them gems, they leave. It should have been 21 likes. But they rather just come in and be nosy. And then leave without no like. You know what I mean? The goofiest stuff you can do in the world. This is the world, though. This is the world. Like it's going to make their finger fall off. If you press the like button. I just laugh at people, though. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get mad at stuff like that. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people, man, I be on some of these channels, man, they be getting rowdy. You know what I mean? I'm rowdy with they people. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I love you anyway. You came to watch me. I appreciate it. You know? But at the end of the day, it's all for y'all. To keep y'all enlightened. Because I already found out. You dig what I'm saying? So this for y'all. You know? I want to spread that. But like I say, man, you know, dark forces at work. And it ain't letting up no time soon. We coming into the end times. You dig? The end time. It was a lot of stuff that went down on that Atlantic Ocean in the 1800s. You know? A lot of stuff we don't know about. And I don't think it chose the only ocean that don't have a coast for nothing. You dig? That's just if you ask me. Alright? That's just if you ask me. You know what I mean? How does that sound? You dig? If y'all haven't seen my other shows of No Filter West, make sure y'all go check it out, man. The first one is the Daltrey Gang. I believe it's the second episode. It's the Daltrey Gang. The Daltrey Gang, which was a robbing spree family, man. It was a robbing spree family who went on a spree of robbing for about a week, 2 weeks. All right? Brothers, sisters. 2 brothers and a sister. Gangster. All right? Yeah, man. Hey, y'all check that video out, man. I'm talking about I got a lot of gems in there for y'all. You did? A lot of gems in there for y'all. You know? A lot of don't do's and, you know what I mean? Stuff y'all should know. You did? No, don't be lost in the sauce, man. Don't y'all be lost in the sauce, man. Y'all be sure to read up on all that, okay? Check me, all right? Don't just take my word for it. Go back and look and be like, well, let me see what he's talking about. Is he for real? Check it out. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. I gotta keep my people on it, man. Them dark forces, it ain't nothing you can hide from. You did? Ain't nothing you can hide from. You can be holier than thou. In fact, demons, dark forces, the devil, man, they love to try to tempt God's people. You did? That's what they there for. To collect souls. And not just the bad ones. Alright? Not just the bad ones. They come for you too, Mr. Holier Than Thou. Yeah, they get tempted too, you dig? Why you think it be so many pastors get caught doing all this weird stuff? You dig? Pastors and preachers and, you know what I'm saying? Fathers. It's like, you know? No, because good people do bad stuff too. That's why. You dig? Look at, I don't want to mention no name, but look at these other pastors who out here capitalizing off the people. They ain't thinking about God. They saying God, but they ain't thinking about God. Because if they was thinking about God, it wouldn't be all about money. I can't do nothing but tell y'all the truth, man. You know, I mean, and once again, this ain't to diss no pastors. This ain't no diss to the church. I just don't like the layout. I don't like the blueprint of the situation. You dig? I don't feel like it should be about money. You know what God need money for? Pay your offerings. What? Pay your tithes. To who? You dig what I'm saying? To who? God don't need money. Back then, they wasn't having them folks bring money. They was bringing bread and fish, wine. All right. Maybe they ate little crackers. You know what I mean? Communion was sharing with the people and getting to know each other. Sharing bread with your brother. You dig? Breaking bread. Now they done turned it into they ain't turned it into a freak show, man. You know? Everything about money. Pay your tithes. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's a big thing in church, man. That's a big thing in church. Paying your tithes, man. I remember back when my grandma was taking us to church, man. Before we even got there, she always made sure we had our quarters. You know what I'm saying? She always made sure we had money to put in that bowl. I'm like, you know, business side of me, you know. I always been thinking. Ever since I was young, I was like, man, I wonder how much money they making. Everybody putting in $1. Everybody putting in $20, $5. Every Sunday. Alright? Man, y'all know how much money them churches making, man? For what, though? Where's this money going? I'll tell you where it's going. It's going to the pastor pocket. It ain't going to the church. Most of these churches still be ran down, man. They got holes in the ceiling, man. You dig? Why, though? None of that should be. None of that should be in none of these churches. You dig? Every church should be outstanding from the ground up. You dig? Because they getting a lot of money from these people. That's just if you ask me. Now, most of the time I would say I could be wrong. Not in this case. I'm not wrong. I'm totally right. Because they know, let me calm down. They know how much money they really getting. Them folks be in the back of them churches, man, and they be counting out bread bowls. I'm talking about real live trucks. Alright? Truckload of money. Truckload of money. You know? And they still get what? Every day. It ain't never a Sunday. They like, no, don't y'all worry about paying your tithes this time. You just get yourself right. Ain't never no day like that. Every Sunday, even when they get a big bread truck, they still want some more. You dig? It's like, come on, man. Like, why you gotta take? These is poor people they taking from. These people poor. You dig? They not doing that in the rich communities. Most of the time, you know what? Rich people don't even go to church. Probably for that reason right there. They know better. It ain't about your tithes, man. Stop saying that. I don't want to hear that no more. God don't need no money. All right? Pastor need money. God don't care about that money, man. He don't care about that. They made that up. They made that up. That's a man-made problem. Man-made problem that the whole world going through if you go to church. but they still get you on taxes if you don't go to church. Oh, you gonna pay them taxes, buddy. And if you don't get what? If you don't pay them taxes, your ass going to jail. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit, y'all? If you don't pay your taxes, you going to jail. Right? But most of the time the police beating us up. Unalive enough. Unalive enough. Beating on our loved ones and shit. And we paying for their service. Ain't that crazy, right? Paying for their service, but we get beat up. We get mistreated. Getting called nigga. All the above. I got a long list. I can keep going and going, but this ain't about law enforcement. You did? This ain't what that is. Because get what? Just like you got bad cops out there, I know for a fact you got good cops because I got friends that's good cops. Personal friends. So I know for a fact they're not all the same. All right? And we're going to leave it right there. As far as that hurricane, y'all go do your research on that. And if you ain't seen that thumbnail, you need to go check it out. Check it out. And just look at it. Blow it up. Blow it up. It's sitting right there on my thumbnail. Y'all check that out. And it's an actual photo. It's called a mirror image from the radar. It forms a real demon. A real demon. That ain't by accident. That ain't Photoshop. None of that. You know how you know it ain't? Because they try to get rid of it. I went back to try to see it again. They got rid of it. Luckily, I screenshotted it. Because it would be gone. It would be gone. And I know a lot of people that say, I know they didn't. It missed a lot of people. It went over a lot of y'all head. Don't let stuff go over your head. If something don't sit right with me, man, when I seen that picture, I scrolled past it at first, right? Scrolled past it. It registered in my mind. Once I went to the next page, I went back. I said, that's a damn demon. That's a damn demon. Made my hair stand up, man. Made my hair stand up because I know what it was. You did. And I know it's real. Dark forces is real. They're more real than you and me. So stay prayed up, y'all. Stay prayed up. Stay dangerous. Stay focused. That's the best I can tell y'all. And don't just take my word for it. Go do your research. Go do your research on everything I'm talking about. It was a lot of bad stuff that happened in the Atlantic Ocean. A lot. It didn't choose that for no reason. It definitely didn't. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. What's up? What's up? Okay. I can hardly see y'all. Hold on. I ain't ignoring nobody. But yeah, man, like I say, man, y'all see that clown Charleston, right? That's all I'm gonna say, man. But that clown, I ain't scared of you. I got special friends too, boy. You don't want to know somebody. You did. But you know the difference between me and you? I ain't trying to see another black man in jail because I know there's too many there already. You did. Just because somebody act a certain way don't mean you treat them like boo boo. And if you believe in God, boy, you know that ain't what you do. You still gotta love one another. You still gotta love your brother, love your sister. You dig? Yeah, I say a lot of bad stuff about people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it I be joking about. You know, because I like to get under people's skin. You dig? I like to get under people's skin. That's what I do. I do that best. You dig? And I'm a content creator on top of all that. You dig? So, you know, a lot of things I say. You know, a lot of things I do. A lot of things I don't do. You feel? But buddy, man, buddy totally, hey, buddy disrespectful, man. When you get to talking about kids and all that, man, all I'm gonna say is, go what, y'all gonna see what happened to him. And go what, don't say I ain't told you so. Y'all already seen it. Y'all think that's the end of that boy? Y'all remember when he caught him in the barber chair? Y'all remember when they caught Charleston White in the barber chair? One of them goons caught his ass in the barber chair, hit him with the butt of that gun in his head. You think that's the end of that? Man, that's why that boy got security. Don't let him think that he out here riding around freely. That's what y'all really think. That boy out here, because y'all see him on live and he out here riding. Man, that boy ain't riding around here freely, man. He know he can't. You dig? Not with all that tongue wrestling. You feel me? And he this big. Boy, you better keep that pistol. You better keep that taser, all that bell spray. And then he touches down in all these different cities, man. Get what? It's always that one person that don't give two damns, boy. That can't wait to go back in the can. You did? Or ain't scared of no can. You did? He done been around animals. You did? Yeah, man, you can't treat people like that, man. You know, and talk about people kids. You don't, that's a no-no. You feel? That's a no-no. You don't do nothing like that, man. And he an old-ass man. I know he about 50. No, he about 50. Or close to 50. You dig? Like, he know better than that, man. Anyway, this ain't about Charleston White. We're going to keep it flowing. This is about Hurricane Erin and how the dark forces are at work with Hurricane Erin. You dig? And all the different things that went on the Atlantic Ocean around the 1800s. The slave trade, all them different ships that wrecked, all them different people they got left. You dig? You got some crazy stuff going on in Lake Lanier too. I'm sure everybody know about that. Y'all have seen that by now. A lot. Man, it's like every other day. It seemed like. I don't know if y'all watching the same news I'm watching. And a lot of times they don't even televise it. Alright? It's a lot of stuff going on over there at Lake Lanier itself. What I don't understand is, right, not just the spirit stuff, but if we getting these brain-eating amoebas, right, that's what it's called. It's a bacteria that hits your brain, that eats your brain away and kills you within days, right? If that's out there, what I don't understand is why ain't it televised? Why ain't it a sign on every corner of that lake letting people know that you don't want to go in here? That's what I don't understand. The lake that they said, all right, I can't remember. I'm going to come back. I'm going to find out for sure, and I'm going to come back and let y'all know. The lake they said, though, okay, they know about because they told us about it, okay? The case, it was a boy who went swimming. Supposedly some water went into his nose, in his nostrils, and probably in his ears, okay? Maybe in his mouth. And he got what you call a brain-eating amoeba in his head, okay? And it's a bacteria that formed in his brain that started eating away at it, okay? A kid. They don't know nothing about it. They say he went home, okay? It don't just happen fast like I snap, right? But it happened fast within days. Once the process starts, that's it. All right? The brain-eating amoeba, right? It was eating away at the boy's brain. Now, the boy was at a friend's house, and he complained about his head hurt. All right? The child's parents called his parents and told him about his headache. That was the second time that he had a headache. He went into the hospital, and it was already too late. They was telling him he got a bacteria on his brain. By that time, the boy had slipped into a coma. Okay? It's almost like they got him to the hospital right in time. Right? But I don't understand how they know about these places. I'm sure that's not the only lake that got that bacteria, that brain-eating bacteria in the damn water. Okay? Why aren't they letting us know? Why aren't they letting us know? Am I tripping? Why isn't it televised? Why don't we at least have a sign outside the lake? Oh, here's a better one. A fence. Until y'all figure out what the hell that is. I'm just asking. They know what these lakes are. They know what this bacteria is. They know what it does to human beings. But then again, we don't even have freedom of speech. They say we do, but we don't. Right? Right? Certain shit just don't add up. It's pick and choosy. It's like weird. You know what I mean? And when you in power, that's goofy as hell to do something like that. You dig? You gotta be one way now. You gotta be one way. And to do something like that, man, and say you care about the people, it's horrible. That's horrible. A brain-eating bacteria. Ain't no telling where else is at. Now, these brain-eating bacteria are normally in warm sets of water, like lakes, river bends, stuff like that. I don't believe you can find it in large bodies of water or pools. It won't live in it. It has to be a certain temperature for the amoeba to survive. Now, how in the hell is this happening? I can't get that through my head. How are they letting this happen? How are people dying from stuff like this? Why ain't this contained? Why ain't this stuff at the CDC? It probably is. Probably just for them to do research on it. But why isn't it a fence put up around every lake that has this bacteria in it? Please, somebody answer that for me. Why? Kids gotta die? That's horrible, man. That's horrible. Like I say, God don't like ugly. Right? God don't like ugly. And like I say, it's a lot of things at play in the world right now. There's a lot of things at play. A lot of evil things going on. Y'all stay prayed up, man. Y'all stay prayed up. And y'all be sure to come back for another episode of No Filter West. You dig? Forget about it.